What is up, and welcome back to Beyond the Arc with Brandon Silvers. As always, I am your host, Brandon Silvers. We are right in the thick of conference season when it comes to college hoops. So it's time to look back at what we were thinking heading into the season and what we think is going to happen moving forward. And when I say me, we're talking SEC hoops today. So of course, you know I'm joined by the GOAT, Dreher. What is going on?
Nothing much. I'm enjoying these games. I'm so glad it's conference season because non-con, the girlies did not do their big ones with those schedules. So I'm happy we are in conference season for sure.
Amen. Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we look at the individual teams, we got to talk about South Carolina, LSU. Gamecocks won by 10 at home. The atmosphere was crazy. What were your takeaways from that one?
Well, one, I've been to Colonial like plenty of times, being from Columbia, South Carolina, but I couldn't make it to that game because I'm going to go to Asia's retirement Sunday coming up. It was loud. I had to take a Motrin from watching it on TV. That's how loud it was. It was loud. I have never, and especially that sequence when Sanaya stole the ball, threw the lob, Raven made it, then she got the other steal, and then she made it again. It just kept going it was loud. But my takeaways is good. I like South Carolina just can win in so many different ways. We're not scoring? Fine. You won't either. Who cares? And we need to get to 100 points. Sure, we can do that too. It's just kind of like, well, what you want to do? Because I want whatever you want. Like, if you want to play like this, boom, 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 we can get it this way. We want to play like this, boom, 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 we can get it this way. So you just tell us what you want to do, and we're just going to go with that. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It really is when you think about it.
I think I was nervous. We talked about it heading into the season, did not expect another undefeated season. Then the UCLA game, okay, there's some stuff to clean up. And I guess it got cleaned up because, was it 14 in a row? Yeah. All of them by double digits?
Yeah, and it's sometimes nobody wants to lose, but sometimes you got to be punching them out to put you back in your place.
Definitely.
You needed it, because now it's they just kind of figured out their own way, because missing a big old 6'7" girl, that's a difference. You got to learn to play without that. And I think before they were just kind of skating by, but I think that game made them take a step back and really be like, okay, no, we gonna have to figure this out because it's not gonna work. So yeah.
Yeah, it's just been a sight to behold. Well, let's get into it. We're going to look at individual teams.
Okay.
You kind of probably have a little bit of an idea who we're starting with. But we're playing the newest game show to sweep the nation. It's called Are the Girlies Smart? Is what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
That is Lowe's catchphrase. Smart in this context is Sweet 16 contender.
Okay, got it.
So, are the girlies smart? South Carolina Gamecocks.
Smart. Yes.
Boom.
Absolutely.
Why are they a Sweet 16 contender? To you, I mean, that's pretty obvious. I guess, how are they still able to do this after losing Camilla and then we had Ashlyn come back and then get hurt?
It's crazy.
How are they able to just keep it rolling?
I think depth. Dawn being who she is and letting this next man up and being honest about playing time and having people stick around because Sanaya has been, you never want anybody to get hurt, but, things happen and it's just this is your moment, take it and run with it. And Sanaya, if I could, anybody taking a moment and just being it's here, I'm good. We all know she was a good girl, good player. Dawn has said a plethora of times that she was, but now it's just and it's crazy because this is how a lot of the girlies get drafted when somebody has just a good season right before. And Sanaya's been a godsend. And then just all the depth and everybody just coming together. Like I said earlier, they can just win in different ways. So kind of whatever you throw at them, they tend to figure it out. And they've played so many ranked teams. They've played ugly games, pretty games. They've played different styles of basketball. So definitely Sweet 16.
Yeah, it is wild to see Sanaya, who was just a depth piece for most of her career, and then she comes in, and you're right. I could definitely see her getting drafted. I'm not saying she's gonna be a top pick, but
right.
She looks like a WNBA player to me.
Yeah, And it's great. And now I know that you can sit and wait your turn. Now I know that you clearly got a positive attitude to sit there that long. I mean, hey, and then you think about it, the girl been playing against Aaliyah Boston and Camilla. So now I'm thinking about it, like,
Exactly.
well, you've been playing, so.
Yes. So I'm right there with you. They figured it out. I just don't know how you, like, Kim Mulkey said it. She kind of said it in a shady way to me. Mm-hmm. But Dawn does have 10 McDonald's All-Americans. I guess I shouldn't have said that because I know how they get about Kim. But she got 10 McDonald's All-Americans, and she makes it work even when you got the noise where people are saying Malaysia needs to transfer, this, that, and the third. You got Joyce Edwards you're bringing in, who is dominant.
Man, what? Her too.
And it's like, I don't know. It just keeps happening.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. There we go.
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is.
So, I don't know. I'm full agreement there. We'll move on to their opponent we just talked about, LSU. Are the girlies smart?
Yes. I'm going to say yes. I think their big three is solid enough. I think they need to tighten up a few things, but I'm going to say yes.
What do you think they need to tighten up?
Their point guard play isn't the best to me. They're very solid at 1, 2, 3, and whatever Anissa playing, if she playing at 4 or 5. Not 1. They're very solid at 2, 3, 4, or 5, whatever Anissa playing. That 1 position and that 5 position is where they kind of are iffy to me. Samaya Smith, she missed some time with injury, so she's coming along, but it's just still very raw. Just very, very raw. Jersey, she just has never played in the paint before.
Yeah.
She likes to play outside, so I just don't know if she'll ever have that grit to really bump and be a 5, even at her height. Like, it's cool because she's tall, but you saw when she got in the game with Sanaya, she just was getting moved around. So those would be my biggest questions. Aaliyah De Rosario should be serviceable at least a little bit, but I guess not. I don't know. I think those would be the 2 questions, but I think they're good enough. You need 3 solid girlies at least, and I think they have that to make the Sweet 16 for sure. But I think even in South Carolina game, they got a little tired. So if you got a team, because that's what they were. I knew after that game in the first quarter, they made a punch. I remember putting in the group chat, they're done. That's it. That's their punch. I knew it. And then they just was gassed. And then Flau'jae came back, I only scored 2 more points. Michaela came back, only scored 4. They were done. So I do think they're a Sweet 16 team, but I just think they got their shape. They got to get in shape because some girls got to play. And then that 1 and that 5 we got to figure something out.
Which is confusing to me because, like, the thing with LSU, their non-conference schedule, never really tough, to put it kindly. Mm-mm. So if that's the route you're going to go, I'm not sure why you're not using that to develop depth.
Exactly. Because her saying like the All-Americans thing, they have some very solid girls on the bench. It's not, yes. And then if we're going to keep it a buck, when Dawn first started winning, she didn't have 10 All-Americans. You figure out how to use them girls. They're good enough to be at LSU. They're good enough to play. Like, figure out even if you could because even Dawn, you see her now throwing Miriam in a little bit to take up some minutes to be a body. Throw them in, like play chess. Play chess with them. Do something because the girls were tired. They were tired.
Especially you talked about the big 3. They're so good that clearly you start the game with them and you end the game with them. But you should be able to mix and match where at least 2 of them are on the court in the middle of the game, but someone's getting some rest at some point.
Yes, especially with their guards. I think they're a little deeper at the guard position. You got Miracle, you got the freshman Jada. Poa has such a short leash, but I do think she can be used a little more. I really do. Now, Anissa, she might not be able to come out. Sorry, girlie. Anissa, Anissa, you're probably going to be the one that has to stay in the game. Sorry, girlie. But I do think she can find a little bit more rest for Flaw and Michaela. She's going to have to, I think. I don't know. But that would be the caveat for them. But yes, for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I love watching them play, but they make me tired watching them. So
yeah. And then always doing that, girl. Save your energy. You're not getting out of the game. Sit
Yes.
down, like grown on up the court. Nah, girl. But yeah.
Yes, agree. All right, moving on. Are the girlies smart?
Mm-hmm.
Texas Longhorns, newcomer to the SEC.
Man, I don't know. When they made those articles about them kind of them running through the SEC, I thought that was a stretch. But I did expect a little more. What I say? Even if they do have another matchup with South Carolina coming, and I can see them maybe getting South Carolina at home, just wear and tear the season. Like I could see that, but I just think expected a little more.
Me too. It feels like the Booker Harmon connection hasn't really gelled the way that it was at the beginning of last season or how I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be Rory. She's coming off that knee injury too.
Yeah, I think Raven gets a lot of slack for her play, but I feel like Rory plays the same.
Yes.
I think Rory's solid. What I think they're missing, I think Rory's good. Madison, of course. I think the Taylor Jones, I don't know her name. Taylor, she's solid and she does really good in some matchups. Aaliyah Moore, I like her. She's a little wild, but I like her. They fall off at that I don't know if it's a 2 out of 3, whatever Madison, one of those guards. To me, she doesn't give anything. She kind of gives them nothing. And I
was going to ask about Shay Holly.
Yes, her.
I feel like they were expecting a lot from her.
Yeah.
She hasn't really hit threes. Like I think she's like 26%.
Yeah, she's not giving anything.
No.
And
it's like
she's kind of throwing them off, but I do like the little freshman off the bench. Her last name is Lee, I believe. I like her. I like the Preston point guard. I really like her.
Yes.
So I think he should find a way to play them a little more because Shay Holly is just not giving enough. It's just very, very easy to key in on Madison Booker right now. And that's, to be honest, Ole Miss should have beat him yesterday.
Yeah. Ole Miss, we're just doing top 25 teams, spoiler alert. Ole Miss drives me
nuts.
Crazy.
Jekyll and Hyde, up and down.
Whew.
Like
I just don't understand their offense will just leave the building.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, and IQ. Like, if you have an athletic, long tweener or guard to put on Madison Booker to just aggravate her and be long, that's going to be an issue. Because now she did find a way to hit that clutch shot last night, but she was not Madison Booker. So it's just easy to key in on her. And nobody else outside of the guards is really giving anything. Rory, she doesn't really go off. She might hit some, maybe. I don't think she always does the best running the team sometimes. But I don't know. I want to say they can make it to the Sweet 16, but that might be it.
Yeah, I had high hopes for them heading into the season. I know we had some questions about their bigs too, but the whole mix just hasn't really looked.
Yeah. And Vic, I don't want to say I feel like he lost his edge, but it kind of does. Because Vic, I don't know. They're a question mark. I do see Sweet 16, but if they bowed out right at the Sweet 16, I wouldn't be surprised. I think somebody can plan to get them out of there.
Definitely. All right, moving on. Are the girlies smart? Kentucky.
Ooh. They're an anomaly too, to me. They're a question mark. I think they have the pieces. Got the pieces now. They have them. I think theirs is very matchup based. But Sweet 16, I give them Sweet 16. I think theirs just really depends on the matchup. If you got some athletic girls that's going to run, might be time to hang it up. But if you got somebody that's going to play that slow, methodic ball with them, they could definitely have a chance because they are big. I say Sweet 16, but I can see them making it to the Sweet 16 for sure. But if they didn't, it wouldn't surprise me. But I would say yeah.
And we always talk point guards. What are your feelings on Georgia Amore?
I think she should have left last season.
Because so defensively, when I watch her play, clearly undersized. So that's tough. But I feel like I see her get beat off the dribble a lot too.
A lot.
Which can't happen. If you're gonna be undersized, you better at least be able to stay in front of somebody.
Yeah.
And so when I see that, I mean, she could. The alarm bells start going off.
Yeah, she could score but she is little. You're not always gonna be able to get them shots up. So I really do think she should have left last year, because leave last year, you in the ACC is not as grueling, but now I feel like it's more question marks around you. Not that you can't score, because she still put up numbers, but I just feel like now it's a little more question marks than it would have been last season.
Yeah. What about I hope I'm saying the girl's name, Tayani Key.
Oh, I like her. Her positioning is kind of always just like, where do you want her? Do you want her at the 3? Do you want her at the 4? What are we doing here? Are you going to develop her a little more at the 3? What is your ultimate goal for her is my question. But she's aggressive. I like her as a player. But I guess my overall, like, what is the goal? What are you getting at with her? Like, what do you want to do with her? Because when they got beat by North Carolina like that, I was kind of like, so I don't know. But if not, yeah.
Wouldn't be a surprise, but you could see them. That's probably the ceiling for them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I do want to shout out Clara Strack too.
Oh yeah.
She's had a good season.
Yes. I like her.
Kenny Brooks likes those.
Yeah, I like
hosts
her
in that mold.
When she was at BT.
Yeah.
I felt like, because they would play Kitley, I'm like, no, that girl on the bench, put her in. I liked her. So yeah, I like her.
And when Liz went down and she came in for her, she was hooping. I was like,
yeah, I like her. A lot.
You couldn't have found some minutes before now, but hey, that's not my business.
I like her.
All right, another team that I had higher hopes for, I think, heading into the season, but they've had a tough go in conference season in particular, Oklahoma.
I don't see the vision. I don't understand. I don't see the vision overall. You have Reagan Beers, who is very solid. Very, very solid. But y'all play a game that's so fast that almost takes her out of the game. But that's your best piece. What are we doing? Then you will take 18 million threes. I guess, what's the plan? Like, what is this supposed to be? I don't know what they're supposed to be. I never know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, to your point, she's only averaging 21 minutes a game.
Yeah, because they're running her out of it.
Yeah, and it's like, you're helping the other team out by doing that.
Like,
and
nobody
it's
guard that girl.
crazy.
Is she in the game? What are we doing?
And they already have 3 conference losses. LSU, Kentucky, and Bama got them, which are good teams.
Yeah.
But
I could see Mississippi State
already
getting them. I could see, no. It's going to be a no.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Tonight, the Gamecocks play Tennessee. Are the girlies smart in Knoxville, Tennessee? I believe their coach, Kim Caldwell, is returning from after giving birth like a week ago.
Yes, if that. To me, it really depends on the matchup. You know how you like, so I'm not going to say yes or no on them. It depends on how the cards fall for them. They're the first team that I'm like, it depends on how the cards fall. Their problem is, though, that style of play is hellacious. It's not my favorite thing. And I think they lose these close games because they don't rebound, they don't take good shots, they're not disciplined, and that's why they lose close games, because they're really talented. But it just gives, I got all of these athletic girls, just go hoop. I don't like it. I don't like the subbing patterns. I mean, eventually, if she gets it to work with her, that's perfect. But I think it really depends on their matchup if they get to Sweet 16. I will say in this game tonight, because of how they play, how hellacious it is, if South Carolina is lagging or not focused, they better watch out. Do I think Tennessee's a better team? Absolutely not. But you come off a game like that with that much mental, this and this, when you standing against a team that's pressing all over the place, and you're not focused, you're done. You know what I mean? So I think it really depends on the matchup and the circumstances with that Tennessee team for me. You see what I'm saying? Like, on any day, would I say Tennessee beats South Carolina? No. But if they're coming off of it's very matchup and very the context of the situation based. But
yeah, they're just a wild card playing, kind of like an AAU type style.
Yes, it reminds me when I coached middle school. I had some girls that I knew were very athletic and they were long. And I said, oh, well, we're just going to go out on defense and act a plum fool. You're in middle school. I'm going to teach y'all this long press. I'm going to teach y'all how to slide y'all feet. Make sure you do this and go to work. And that's what I did. And they turned the ball over and laid it up and we won every game. But when we get to the SEC, it's just different. But that's what I did with my middle schoolers. It is just, I don't know.
Yeah. And to your point, I looked up 4 SEC losses by combined 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
That, I'm so sorry, Tennessee fans. That would drive me insane.
Sounds like South Carolina men.
Yes, it does, which is a team that I cannot stand to watch because we're talking women's hoops,
Okay,
so we're not going to go too long on this. But every time when the stakes are the highest, they're going to make the worst decision.
The worst.
And I'm like, what do you do? Like, I don't have any more hair to lose. Like, please, someone help.
Yeah, it's crazy, but But I think she gets a year or 2. I think she'll tailor it a little bit. She'll tailor the style, and I think by year 3, year 2, end of year 2, she'll settle into what she really wants to do with it, and I think they'll be good from there. I do think, now let me say this, they're in the right direction for sure.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I do love watching them play because I do like, it's fun to see the chaotic teams every so often.
It's hard to
Okay.
watch.
You like order.
Organized chaos. Because I love
Organized
great
chaos.
defense, but they just, it's hard to watch. It is.
But I do like seeing some of the players who have thrived in that. Like Talasia Cooper is balling. But yeah, it does remind me of when I work rec basketball. It kind of gives me the same vibe. Like, oh, interesting.
Go play defense, girlies. Put them on.
See what happens.
Yeah, that's what it gives.
So they might be able to surprise a team in the tournament playing like that,
mm-hmm.
depending on the matchup, like you're saying. But yeah, I'm not going to bet the house on it, but
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Matchup base.
And then the last team we'll talk about for the purposes of this game are the girlies smart. Alabama just had a tough loss yesterday to Vandy, but they were ranked previously. We do not have the new rankings out yet. I know. This was tough for me too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because I can say, well, they should get past the first game if they play. But who would they first seed? No, because they seed not going. I don't know.
Yeah, because they've got against the top tier competition. I don't think they've looked fantastic. And like you're saying, I don't know if they're going to get a great seed with how they've been playing. I think they're only impressive when, I guess it's Michigan State. They beat them by 15. Texas blew them out. Gamecocks beat them by 18. Losing at home to Vandy, not great. They hit the road to take on Kentucky. They still have to hit the road to take on Tennessee and Oklahoma, and they play LSU. Those are all tough games.
And I know Norfolk State played them close too. So
that's right, 10-point game, and it was closer than that, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think I'm out on Bama.
Yeah. Because they're not going to get a good seed, I don't think, in that. They'll probably get like a 9-8 matchup or something like that.
Yeah. That's going to be tough.
I don't see it for the girls. But I enjoy watching Bama play. I enjoy watching them play. I'll say that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I like the anti-volunteer.
I like Essence. Is it Essence Cody? The girl in the paint. I like her.
Yes, Essence Cody. Mm-hmm. Yep, she's having a really good year. They got Sarah Ashley Barker, Zay Green. A couple of good pieces.
Aaliyah Nye can shoot that thing.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if they survived that first game.
Yeah, I don't know either.
And so that concludes the first ever Are the Girlies Smart? So looking ahead, rest of conference season, we kind of talked about what we're expecting in terms of the big picture. How are you expecting things to shake out within the conference? Anything you're keeping an eye on, whether that's individual or team-based?
My biggest question marks, of course I say, now, okay, we got South Carolina-LSU. Texas-ish. I don't know what to do with Tennessee. But my biggest questions would be Mississippi. What is Ole Miss going to do? And I think Mississippi State keeps catching people slipping. So I'm looking at Mississippi because Ole Miss, their defense is so tough that I feel like they can always win. It just depends on what Ole Miss show up. In Mississippi State, those guards are good. Those guards are solid. And then they got that they got some solid like tweeners, and then the girl, I can't remember her name, in the paint. She's a little raw. She's not there yet, but she plays really hard. She's big. So and you know, the SEC, the thing about the SEC, just because, in my opinion, if you lose to a team, do I think they're a better team? No, but the SEC is so, you got to show up every single night. And the nature of basketball is sometimes it's just not going to be your night, and it's going to be somebody else's night. So because it's the SEC, I could see a Mississippi State sneaking up on somebody and getting them because they do have dynamic guards. They do have the solid people in the post. So I could see them getting somebody. And then Ole Miss, I'm just like, what are we going to do? Is this going to be a good season for y'all, or are we just going to fall to the wayside? So my eyes would be on Mississippi.
I feel like with Ole Miss, it's been kind of the same story for a couple of years now.
Every year. Yeah.
And I'm like, even to end the game, the play that was drawn up, I feel like the same thing happened against Southern Cal too to start the season, mm-hmm. where it's like,
because I don't know if, right there.
Yes,
that's the
and
crazy
it's like,
part.
I don't know if you're drawing up even these plays that fit the personnel you have.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and I'm
because I was like,
yeah.
It's frustrating because I want to see them do well because the more SEC teams,
right,
the more that I brag about the SEC.
Right,
but I'm like, please, someone who can score. I don't know who's hitting the portal or what.
They got a girl from Columbia that's headed down there. That's a pretty solid scorer, but she's gonna be a freshman next year. But we'll see.
Yeah. And then what about what's going on over at Vanderbilt? Michaela Blake's.
Now, I like Vandy. Now I love me some Vandy. I ain't gonna lie. I like Vandy. Camille Pierre.
Oh.
That girl a dog.
Yeah.
That girl is a dog. And Michaela Blake's, man, they are good. And then it's another girl that's solid. I just lost her name, which is Moore. Last name Moore.
Yes.
Solid. Jordan Oliver doesn't score a lot, but she is the perfect glue piece for them, in my opinion. Like, she could score a little more, sure, but I think she just holds them down really good on the court. I like watching Vandy. I really like watching Vandy. I like Shea Ralph, too. I like her. She's good.
I feel like they had that little 3-game skid mm-hmm. that kind of knocked them off the national radar. Mm-hmm. But if there's a team that we haven't talked about that could not make a deep run, but make it to the Sweet 16,
Vandy.
I could see Vandy doing that.
They played tight with LSU for a while, too. They're solid. I think Vandy's solid. I think she's building something over there. Watching them a lot.
So, is there anything we haven't covered that we need to cover so that people know, get ready for the rest of the season? This is what you need to pay attention to.
It's not an SEC girly, but one, we need to give Tanaya Latson some more love. She's a dog. She's nuts.
That shot, the whole sequence of that game winner with the pump fake that sent everyone flying.
She knew. She was like, oh, there wasn't nothing. Like, I do this all the time. What y'all talking about? Like, what? And then my last thing is, y'all have to put more respect on Lauren Betts because y'all are tripping. That girl is, if Hannah is number one in the National Player of the Year conversation, Lauren is 2. Ain't no Hannah Paige, Juju. No. I know she's a big, and sometimes that's not as fancy. It's her. If Lauren was not playing, UCLA would not be undefeated. Please. Lauren is, y'all got to put some more respect on her and what she's doing at UCLA. She is, come on now. And on both sides of the ball. Come on. But those are my last 2 things I would say.
Shameless plug. I put out a weekly sports watch guide. Subscription link is in the show notes. And I just wrote about Lauren Betts. I was like, she needs to be getting more talk for National Player of the Year.
Yes.
The game I wrote about to tell people to watch, to yell about it, yesterday, 14 of 15, 33 points, made me feel like a genius. When really, all you have to do is have eyeballs.
Literally, just watch her.
Like everything she does is just textbook. Even the way she sets screens.
It's perfect. She's a robot. In the best way. Like, she's a robot.
Yes, in the best way.
She's a robot.
It's like she is just like the Terminator. Like she's just set to destroy opponents on both sides of the ball.
Yes, and it's not flashy. It's not going. It's just textbook. Like the way I post up, the way I position my body and angle it, the way I'm going to make sure I pin and spin this way and put this arm up and lay it right up, the way I'm going to sprint right down the middle of the score is perfect.
It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So please tap into what Lauren Bess is doing, because I agree. She's at least like she's no lower than 2 for me.
No, and if she's lower than 2, you don't know what you're talking about.
No. So, all right, Lo. As always, this has been fantastic. Where can the people find more of you?
Y'all see me on Twitter. I'm there. Y'all know where to find me.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. So that will also be in the show notes under my subscription for my newsletter.
Yep.
So you
newsletter.
Hit them up both. Hit both of them up.
Yes.
But no, this has been fantastic. Appreciate you joining me again and dropping some knowledge.
No problem.
And this has been another episode, a special release just to get y'all ready. So you're welcome. But appreciate y'all watching, listening, rating, subscribing, reviewing, and sharing. Always appreciate everyone Lo brings to the show. I mean, you do numbers. I don't know. If no one else wants to have you on their podcast, you are welcome on here because you got knowledge, you're friendly, and you got the most diehard fans I've ever seen in my life.
That's
so
hilarious.
Shout out to your community because I mean, you earned it just by being who you are. So thank you. And yeah, I will catch y'all later.
Bye.